This is Ms. Cole. As you know, earlier in the month I conducted a survey of the administrators at Benbrook Elementary, and I asked them to respond to the question, what are the needs or concerns that we have for our students with learning disabilities? And I compiled the data, and there was an overwhelming response to the testing, the IEPs being aligned with the testing, because as you know, most of our students with learning disabilities are 1 or 2, possibly more grade levels behind, and the STAR test, of course, is administered on grade level. So we need to come up with new pedagogy to help the students respond in a positive manner on the STAR test. Also, with the implementation of IDEA in the least restrictive environment, a lot of the classrooms are going to inclusion. So with the inclusive classroom, I feel that our campus needs professional development training in the area of inquiry-based science instruction to address the needs of our students with learning disabilities. With that in mind, I've put together 2 90-minute professional developments that will help our classroom teachers be successful in the methodology of hands-on science for our students with learning disabilities. And as you know, a good thing about the hands-on science is it naturally lends itself to differentiated instruction. And that is something that our students with learning disabilities require. They need differentiated instruction, and they need inquiry-based hands-on instruction. So my first session will be 90 minutes, and it will have, at the beginning, Earth and Life Science. And at the beginning, I'll give an overview of the inquiry-based science, which is hands-on science. It follows a 5E lesson plan, and it gives the students an opportunity to explore and elaborate and differentiated instruction. So, with the differentiated instruction, it's a constructed learning opportunity, and it's more student-directed than teacher-directed. It's less teacher talk and more student talk. The professional development that I've put together helps teachers adapt the lesson plans to inquiry-based instruction. I've developed a rubric that the teachers can use to analyze the STAR test and analyze the TEAK. And based on the results of that rubric, it'll help them put together an inquiry-based science instruction in their classroom. I've also included in the professional development an article called A Plant in a Jar as a Catalyst to Learning. And in this article, it gives a complete overview of a life cycle lesson and the materials needed to teach the plant in a jar. This is my curriculum rubric. It will identify the TEAK and help the teacher align the TEAK with the STAR assessment and help them put together a materials list that will help them adapt the lesson. So, the first lesson that I'm going to do in the professional development is Earth Science, and it'll help them adapt it, identify the necessary lessons, develop a lesson plan, and show them how to practice the experiment before they implement it into the classroom. Once they have that information, I have a 5E lesson plan for them to take the curriculum into that will help them with their lesson planning and help them with their instruction. In addition, I've also included an Earth Science lesson plan, and it follows the same format as the previous lesson plan. So, I'll spend about 5 to 10 minutes on the introduction and the overview. Then I'll give about 10 minutes training on the rubric. About 25 minutes will be spent on the Earth Science lesson and 25 minutes on the Life Science lesson. Then I'll give the teachers an assessment right from the start that's aligned to the training that we just had. And they'll have 5 minutes to do that lesson. And then it'll follow with a 10-minute Q&A, and then I'll have the teachers do a course evaluation. And that's for lesson 1. For the session 2, which will be the following day, we will explore physical science. And in the physical science, it'll follow the same plan as before, and the teachers will take the rubric and analyze the TEK with it, and then analyze the STAR question with it. And this will help the teachers help the students with learning disabilities with inquiry-based science instruction. So that lesson is on density, and as you can possibly see on here, it's very simple. When they analyze the STAR test, they look at the figures and make a list of the materials they see. There's 2 beakers, a cork, some oil, and some water, and they would give this to the students, and the students would conduct this experiment. The way I would handle it is I would have them put the cork in first, then the water, then the oil. In each step I would have them record their observations in their lab book. And I would end the lesson with this actual STAR assessment for the student to see. So that lesson, session 2, will be physical science at the beginning, and then the end of it will be a blank lesson plan, and the teacher will be allowed to identify a TEK that they have struggled with in the past, and I will help them identify the assessment, and we'll go through the process of writing the lesson plan. This gives the teachers hands-on experience in handling the rubric and the lesson plans. And we'll go through the whole process, making a materials list, and showing them how to put the lesson together. Session 2 will have like a 10-minute review at the beginning of what we did in session 1. Then we'll spend about 20 minutes on the physical science lesson. Then we're going into teacher practice. I'll spend about 30 minutes on the rubric, because that's a very important part that the teachers have to understand. We'll move on from there. They'll break out into sessions, and probably about 4 per group, and that's when I'll go around to each table and help them develop the TEK that they're struggling with. And I'll give them about 10 minutes to put a presentation together based on how they would handle the instruction for that TEK. And then we'll do a gallery walk, and we'll have about 5 minutes for the science content assessment, and a Q&A, and of course evaluation. So I think this will help our campus, our teachers, our educators assist the students with learning disabilities in an inclusion classroom. I hope to do this at the beginning of the school year during our training sessions. I'd like to have 2 90-minute sessions, one on one day and one on another day. And then I'd like to have 3 more follow-up professional developments, at least 3 more follow-up professional developments. I'd like to do that on our Wednesday meetings. They don't necessarily have to be 90 minutes, but I'd like to, on a regular basis, be able to go through this process with our teachers so I can assist them in lesson planning, and we can keep these ideas fresh in their head. So if you have any questions, you know how to reach me at my email, and I am here for the success of our students. Together we can make a difference. Thank you very much for your time.